Good day. Our topic for today is all about syrups, creams, custards, and chocolate. Objectives: at the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to first describe the functions of ingredients and the processes for assorted syrups, creams, and custards. Second, practice proper sanitation, hygiene, and storage in relation to syrups, custards, creams, and chocolate. Third, make the various syrups, creams, custards, chocolate, confection, and or decoration. And fourth, determine how to troubleshoot problems involving syrup, creams, custards, and chocolate. First, we have the sugar syrup. Sugar syrup is a combination of sugar and water that is brought to boil and cooked to certain temperature. So the ingredients in making sugar syrup is sugar and water. And also, it serves as a foundation to a wide range of sweet treats, beverages, and savory dishes. So common uses of sugar syrup is a key ingredients in many cocktails, such as mojitos, margaritas, and also in preserving fruits and making jams. So there are three types of syrups. First, we have the simple syrup. It is made from equal weights of sugar and water and measured 28 degrees Baumi. So, simple syrup, the ratio is 1:1 of sugar and water. And also it is commonly used as sweetener in cocktails, iced tea, lemonade, and other beverages. Next, we have the 30 Baumi syrup. It is made with 137 parts of sugar to 100 parts of water and also sometimes used as simple syrup. So, ang 30 Baumi syrup has higher sugar concentration because it has 137 parts of sugar and 100 parts of water. So the difference between simple syrup and 30 balmy syrup is that um, they use different quantity of sugar and water. And also 30 balmy syrup, it has more um, sugar concentration than simple syrup. Next, we have the Baumi. Measurement used to quantify the sugar density of any given liquid. So this is the Baumi. So it is used to measure to quantify the sugar density of the syrup. The third one, we have the cake syrup. It has less sugar than water. So ang cake syrup has it use less sugar than water compared to the other types of syrup. And then if we are going to compare cake syrup and simple syrup, the shelf life of the um, simple syrup has a longer shelf life than the cake syrup because cake syrup uses less sugar while the simple syrup use higher sugar concentration. Next, we have sugar and hardness temperature. So first we have the thread. So this in this column, this has a color part. So these are the sugar stages, and then in this part These are the hardness temperature. First, we have the thread. So the hardest temperature to thread, the hardest temperature is 215 Fahrenheit or 102 Celsius to 235 Fahrenheit to 113 Celsius. So this is the picture of the thread. This is the illustration of the thread. So at this temperature, the sugar syrup forms thin, delicate threads. When dropped from a spoon, it's commonly used for making candied fruits and syrups for dessert. So next, we have the soft ball. The hardest temperature is 235 Fahrenheit to 113 Celsius to 240 Fahrenheit or 116 Celsius. So this is the soft ball. So syrup reaches this stage when dropped into cold water forms a soft, flexible ball. So it's used for making fudge, pralines, and soft caramel. So this is the picture of the soft ball. The third one, we have the firm ball. At its temperature, the syrup forms a firm ball in cold water. It's ideal for making fondant, toffee, and other chewy candies. So to get the temperature, we need to for this 245 Fahrenheit or 118 Celsius to 250 Fahrenheit or 121 Celsius. So this is the firm ball stage. So it's like it forms like a firmer ball, especially if we're going to put it in a cold water. Next, we have the hard ball. So the hardest temperature of this is 250 Fahrenheit or 121 Celsius to 265 Fahrenheit or 129 Celsius. This is the picture of hard ball stage. So the syrup forms a hard but still playable ball in cold water. It's used for making nougat, marshmallow, and some types of caramel. So the fifth one, we have the soft crack. 270 Fahrenheit or 132 Celsius to 290 Fahrenheit or 143 Celsius. So this is the illustration of the soft crack. So the syrup forms thread that are slightly playable when moved from water. It is used for making butterscotch and toffee. So the number 6, we have the hard crack, 300 Fahrenheit or 149 Celsius to 310 Fahrenheit or 154 Celsius. So at this stage, the syrup forms hard threads when cold. It's used for making brittle lollipops and clear hard candies. So this is the picture of hard crack stage. So the last one, we have the caramel. So to reach that, we need to follow this temperature. It has 320 Fahrenheit or 160 Celsius to 350 Fahrenheit or 177 Celsius. So So by monitoring the temperature of the sugar, sorry for that. So this is a picture of the caramel. So by monitoring the temperature of the sugar syrup with a Kindy thermometer, you can achieve the desired hardness for your specific recipe. That's why it's essential to be cautious when working with that sugar to avoid burns and injuries. So we need to follow this sugar and hardness temperature to be able to have this outcome. Next, we have basic creams. It is essential ingredients in pastry application. So first, there are 4 creams that serve as a foundation of pastry making. First, we have the whipped cream. It's a heavy cream that has been whipped to increase its volume and lightens its texture. It has a fat content between 35 to 40%. So whipped cream is often used as a topping for desserts such as cakes, pies, and fruit salad. It adds a creamy and light texture to these sweet treats. So this is the one of the example of whipped cream. So it is a coffee, and then the top of that is the whipped cream. So whipped cream, fat develop and are more stable at colder temperature. Thus use cold cream when whipping. So in B, bowl and attachment may also require cooling. C, when whipping cream mechanically, use medium speed to ensure that it does not whip too quickly. The second one, we have the cream chantilly. A sweetened vanilla flavored whipped cream used as garnish for dessert or sometimes to ice a cake. So this is one of the example of cream chantilly. The degree of sweetness depends on the amount of sugar used, 15%, based on the weight of the cream. Need not to over whip the cream, so it did not need to whip the cream. I mean, so dili nimo kinanglan in whipping, dili nimo i-over whip. Letter C, powdered sugar or granulated sugar may do well and must be added during the beginning whipping process. So if ang gamiton nimo is what you're going to use is powdered sugar or granulated sugar, and then dapat kay imo add siya ini kay during the beginning of whipping process. The flavor is enhanced with vanilla extract. So para mo enhance ang flavor, you need to add vanilla extract. The third one, we have the cream anglaise, is cooked stirred custard. Custard cooked on the stove with constant agitation and may well be considered as sauce. So this is the picture of the cream anglaise. So it's like kind of a sauce. So it's considered as a sauce. So essentially thickened, flavored, enhanced cream with a number of uses, from dessert sauces to bases for ice creams, buttercream, or mousy. B. Temperature at less 165 degree Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius to ensure destruction of alpha amylase, a harmful enzyme present in egg. So C. The cream should be cooked to 100 degree Fahrenheit or 82 degrees Celsius and not above to ensure that the egg content does not coagulate. So cream anglaise ingredients and variation. So here are the ingredients in making cream anglaise. First, basic ingredients, we have the milk, sugar, egg yolk, and vanilla. B, herbs, alcohol, nuts, pastes, and chocolate. Cream anglaise process. First, bring the milk, half of the sugar, and vanilla flavor to a boil. B, you need to combine the egg yolks and the remaining sugar and mix to incorporate, being careful not to incorporate air. So, pag-mix nimo is one way, and then it must be slow. And do not overmix it. Kaya para di lang incorporate ang air. C. Pour 1/3 of the boiled liquid over the egg yolk mixture, stir to incorporate. D. Return the pot of liquid back to the heat and add the egg yolk liquid mixture back to the pot. E. Cook over low heat to 180 degree Fahrenheit or 82 degrees Celsius, stirring constantly. F. Immediately strain the sauce into clean, dry container. Cool it over an ice bath. G. Use immediately or store in the refrigerator for later use. So after those processes, so immediately you need to store it in the refrigerator. Fourth, we have the pastry cream. Like cream anglaise is cooked stirred custard. This is used as a filling or base cream in many classic and contemporary pastry items such as croissant and Danish, fresh fruit, tarts, cream pies, buttercreams, eclairs, and Napoleon cakes. So this is the picture of pastry cream. So it is used as a filling or base cream. So this is the pastry cream. So commonly it is used as a filling. Pastry cream process. Scale the whole milk and some sugar into stainless steel pot and bring it to boil. B. Scale the remaining sugar and construct into a boil and mix to combine. So imo i-measure na ang remaining sugar and construct into a boil and mix to combine. So imo sa i-mix, ibutang nimo sa bowl. C. Scale the egg yolk into the sugar starch mixture and whisk until smooth and pale in appearance. D. After the milk comes to a boil, pour 1/3 of it onto the egg yolk mixture and stir to incorporate evenly. So you need to stir it to incorporate evenly. C. Return this mixture into the pot, stirring constantly. So constant animo pagka stir. Continue to cook the custard while stirring until it has boiled for 2 minutes. Off heat, add the butter and stir until mixed in completely. H. Pour the pastry cream onto the clean parchment-lined sheet pan and cover the surface of the custard with plastic wrap. I. Refrigerate immediately and store until needed. So the fifth one, we have the almond cream. It is used as a filling for a variety of baked goods, including the classic petit verre, various viennoiserie, fruit tart, and cake layer. So the ingredients that are needed is the butter, sugar, eggs, almond meal, and rum. It's strong, so it has a strong nutty flavor and lightly textured consistency. It is a rich and decadent. 60% fruit almond paste and 60% almond and 40% sugar by weight. High fat and sugar content and can be stored in your refrigerator. So this is the picture of one of the example of Pitavir. So this is a Pitavir, and the almond cream is used as a filling. So in that part. Next, we have the frangipane. Similar to our almond cream, but much lighter in texture and flavor. So they were kind of similar to almond cream, but it has more lighter and texture and flavor. So at what you can see in the picture, so it has a light color. So it is also used as kind of filling. So ingredients: combine 2 parts of almond cream to 1 part of pastry cream. Preparation: cold pastry cream is added to the almond cream and it is incorporated using the paddle attachment on a stand mixer pastry. Cream should be used within 2 to 3 days to ensure cream is fresh and free of contamination. Next, we have the chocolate garnishes, chocolate curls. Number 1, use as toppings for cups of coffee, brownies with swirl of whipped cream and chocolate curls. So to make chocolate curls garnishes, first, place square or bars of semi-sweet chocolate on cutting board. Shave it into small pieces with a paring knife. So, shave chocolate into small pieces. So, amo ini. So, tag-shave siya into small pieces. The second one, place shavings in measuring cup. Add shortening. Use 1 teaspoon of shortening for every 2 ounces of chocolate. Fill a saucepan 1/4 full, about 1 inch deep with warm water only. The third one, place measuring cup in water to melt chocolate, stirring frequently with a rubber spatula until smooth. No single amount of water may be dropped into the chocolate. Place measuring cup in water to melt the chocolate. So this is the picture. So it has the pan, the chocolate, and it is being stirred to melt the chocolate. Number 4, remove measuring from saucepan. Let chocolate cool slightly. Slightly. Number 5, pour melted chocolate onto the back of the baking pan and spread quickly into a thin layer about 1/4 inch thick with a metal spatula. So, amo na ini sila. Spread chocolate onto the back of the baking pan. 6, let stand in a cool, dry place until chocolate is firm. Refrigeration is not needed when chocolate is just firm. Use a small straight edge metal spatula to form curls. So imo na siya patignawon tapos imibutang ani sa cold dry area until na ang chocolate is mo firm na siya or mamaya na. Tapos pagka magdaon, scrape nimo siya using the spatula to make a curl. Number 7, use a small skewer or toothpick to transfer the curls to a wax paper. Chocolate curls may be stored in a cool, dry place until ready to use. So, after na nimo pag curl, mo magamit ka ng toothpick to transfer curls to wax paper. So, this is a picture. Number 8, garnish as desired. So, garnish with chocolate curls. So, amo na siya na curls na amo ito ang outcome. Chocolate cutouts. To make chocolate cutout garnishes, First, follow the same procedure for chocolate curls in tempering chocolate. So, need ka dyan mo na i-temper or i-temper ang chocolate. And then the second, line inside a baking sheet with wax paper and pour melted chocolate into it. Quickly spread the chocolate into a thin layer, 1/8 to 1/4 using a metal spatula. So, how do you said kaina sa pagwa ng chocolate curls, spread the chocolate inside the baking pan. So, amo na zaon. Third, let stand in a cool, dry place until chocolate is just firm. Do not chill in the refrigerator. So, dili mo siya need na i-chill sa refrigerator, kundi imo siya ikon sa dry place area. Number 4, cut chocolate into shapes with cookie cutters, placing cutters. The fourth one is cut chocolate into shapes with cookie cutter. So this is a picture. The fifth one, carefully remove cutouts with a metal spatula by using hand gloves. Store the cutouts in a cool, dry place until ready to use. So remove cutouts with a metal spatula. So when you're going to remove the cutouts with a metal spatula, you need to use hand gloves. Number 6, garnish as desired. Chocolate dipped fruits and nuts. To make chocolate dipped fruits and nut garnishes, first follow the same procedure for chocolate curls and tempering chocolate. Second, wash and dry well fresh fruits and dip them into the melted chocolate one at a time. Chocolate coating comes about 2/3 of the way up the side. Allow excess chocolate to dip off. So dip fruit and nuts into the chocolate. Samzaon. Hinluan ka jud anay ang fruits before nimo i-dip sa chocolate. Third, transfer the fruits and nuts to wax paper. Let stand in a cool, dry place until chocolate is firm. Do not chill in the refrigerator. Fourth, garnish as desired. Garnish with chocolate-dipped fruits and nuts. Melting and piping chocolate drizzles. To melt and pipe chocolate drizzle garnishes, first follow the procedure in chocolate curls in tempering chocolate. So one of the reason that we need to temper the chocolate kay para dali sila sad mahilis. Second, fill the disposable piping bag about half full with melted chocolate. Seal bag securely. So amo na ini siya. Fill a plastic bag with melted chocolate. So imo na ibutang dito sa plastic bag ang chocolate and melted chocolate. Next, third one, cut off very tiny corner of the bag with a scissor. Use scissor to cut off the top corner of the bag. Number 4, ay amo ba sa ini ang picture, so imo ikuwan ang kuwan. Imo guntingon kibali ang sa corner ng bag. So 4, gently squeeze bag with piping chocolate into the cake, cookie, ice cream, or other dessert using an even steady flow. Number 5, the fifth one, garnish as desired. Garnish with chocolate drizzles. So, amo na zaon. To make chocolate shape garnishes, first follow the procedure in chocolate curls in tempering chocolate. Second, fill the disposable piping bag about half full with melted chocolate. Seal bag securely. Cut off very tiny corner of bag with scissors. Number 4, gently squeeze bag and pipe chocolate and a steady flow on the sheet wax, making a variety of small shapes. So fifth, create shapes of flowers, hearts, animals, Christmas trees, lattice shapes, or any lossy patterns that can be used as a design for garnish. So, diri pwede na kamugina ng mga different kinds of designs na pwede na makuha. So, what you need to do is squeeze chocolate into the desired shape. 6. Let stand in a cool, dry place until chocolate is firm. Do not chill in the refrigerator. Gently peel sheets of wax paper when they are firm to touch. Store shapes in a cool, dry place until ready to use. So, if firm na or maya na ang kuwan ang chocolate shapes na imutag tag form, gently peel shapes of wax paper. So, anam-anam na mo pagtanggal. Number 7, garnish as desired. Garnish with chocolate shapes. So, pwede naman siya i-garnish biscan high. Or in the fruits or in the kung how many design. Melting and piping white chocolate drizzles. To melt and pipe white chocolate drizzle garnishes, first follow the procedure in chocolate curls in tempering chocolate or microwave at temperature at medium 50% power in 2 minutes. Turn big ever microwave at medium 2 to 3 minutes or until white chocolate is melted. Second, fill the disposable piping bag about half full with melted chocolate. Seal bag securely. Third, knead bag until white chocolate is smooth. So, in picture, you need to knead the bag to smooth white chocolate. Inid nimo. Number 4, cut off very tiny corner of bag with scissors. So, zaon sa very corner, yung guntingon. And then, fifth, gently squeeze bag, drizzle white chocolate onto a bread or pastry product for garnishing. So, after nimo makat ng scissor ang edge kibali, pwede naman siya use as a garnish na kung sa mga cake or sa mga bread, kung yung design. White chocolate curls. So decorate cannolis and other delicious desserts with these curls. So to make white chocolate curls garnishes, follow the procedure in chocolate curls in tempering chocolate. Number 2, or microwave on high 100% power about 1.5 minutes melted, stirring after every 30 seconds of cooking. Third, pour melted white chocolate into the back of the baking pan. Quickly spread the chocolate into a very thin layer about 1/8 to 1/4 inch thick with a metal spatula. So refrigerate white chocolate about 10 minutes or until firm but still pliable. Spread white chocolate onto the pan. So the difference dito sa chocolate curls kay ang chocolate curls kay dili nimo i-refrigerate pero ini kay ang white chocolate kay need mo refrigerate for 10 minutes or until mo firm. 4. Use a small straight edge metal spatula to form curls. Let stand a few minutes at room temperature. Refrigerate again if it becomes too soft. So need gazud nimo ang white chocolate curls na i-refrigerate kay dili mo sa dali mo firm. So push spatula along pan to make a white chocolate curl. Fifth one, use a small skewer or toothpick. Transfer curl to wax paper. Store curl in a cool, dry place until ready to use. So, transfer white chocolate curl to wax paper with a toothpick. Sama na ito. So you need to use the toothpick to transfer it to the wax paper. Number 6, garnish as desired. So garnish mo sa kung unan imo mga designs na gusto, as what are your preferences designs. White chocolate cutouts. So these shapes are fun for kids and adults. So this is fun for kids and also for adults. To make white chocolate cutouts garnishes, first melt white chocolate baking bar in a small bowl. Sit inside larger bowl half filled with a very hot water, stirring occasionally. Do not use shortening. So in melting white chocolate, you don't need to use shortening. Melt white chocolate bars inside 2 bowls. Number 2, line cookie sheet or baking pan with wax paper. Pour melted white chocolate onto wax paper. Quickly spread the chocolate into a thin layer 2-inch thick with a rubber scraper ay spatula. So, maninitag spread na on a cookie sheet with a rubber spatula ang white chocolate. So, third, refrigerate until white chocolate is just firm, about 15 minutes. So, after nimo spread, imo siya ay refrigerate para mo firm siya for about 15 minutes. Fourth, cut chocolate into shapes with a sharp knife. You can also use cookie cutter if desired. Cut chocolate into shapes. So, amo nagamit sila ng knife. Pero pwede ka magamit ng cookie cutters. Gusto nimo. So, number 6, immediately lift cutouts carefully from wax paper with metal spatula or knife. Refrigerate and you're ready to use. So, after nimo pag-cut out, you can use metal spatula para kuhanin mo sa wax paper tapos or knife tapos imon sila refrigerate until kung kuno nimo gamiton. So garnish as desired. Next, we have the business plan for bakery. Basic costing, product packaging, and kumikitang pangkabuhayan ni one package. Objectives. At the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to determine the factors to consider in putting up a bakery business, create a business plan, determine for the unit cost of a baked product, prepare a variety of baked products, and practice analytical skills by determining its selling price, select appropriate packaging for the specific output. Basic knowledge in baking and baked product, costing and packaging, and being equipped with dedication, passion, and determination are all necessary in order to sell baked goods with proper packaging to entice future customers. However, it is must also to be knowledgeable about the things that you need to prepare in putting up a small business, and this is known as a business plan. How to open a bakery. Basic costing and product packaging. Finding your place in the market. Number 1, what sort of baked products are you planning to sell in the market? Number 2, is there a particular product you can offer with a high quality? The first one is in opening a bakery, you need to consider or you need to plan what are the baked products you're going to sell to the market. Number 2 is that you need to think for a particular product that you can offer to the customer with high quality and it is also affordable. So those are the one of the way in finding your place in the market. B, writing a business plan focusing on your passion and specialization. So, yes, in writing a business plan, you need to focus on your passion and specialization for you para maka-connect ka or maka-create ka ng something that is unique and quality and ganingan sad ko magtrabaho kay it's part of your passion. Research our location. Is there a demand for your business in your local area? So, yes, you need to research a location kay basin tara mag-taud ka ng bakery or makon ka ng bakery. Tapos, gamay ra ba za ang zone na area is gamay ra ang mga tao na mulabay or gamay ra ang mamalitay. So, malugi ko kazod. So, you need to search a location. So, that is one of the plan in opening a bakery. So, maghanap ka ng location na dabo na tao na mulabay or dabo na mga bayay-bayay sa like in sa highway, dapat sa highway or sa lungsod. It is necessary to prepare a comprehensive plan of action for setting up your bakery, online or physical. This includes the components that you will choose depending on your knowledge, capacity, capability, and creativity. Next, we have the products. Number 2, business model. 3, venue. 4, budget. 5, fund. 6, pricing strategy. 7, branding. 8, marketing and promotion techniques. 9, website and online presence. Number 10, manpower. The business model refers to a company's plan for making a profit. It is vital for both new and established businesses. So its function are identifies the products or services planned to offer and sell, identify the specific target market, and any expected expenses. So that is the function of the business model. So there are several different business models for a bakery. Identify which type you want to venture among the following. So, dabo ka pilian if magkuha ka ng bakery, So first, coffee shop bakery, retail bakery, wholesale bakery, and the fourth one is home bakery. So these are the types of the venture that you can choose kung ano ba nimo na business. The business model, structure, and culture of cafe bakeries. So cafe bakeries are food service establishments that specialize in supplying freshly made baked products. In order to augment their profit, they also sell hot and cold beverages. Each one of them may offer a variety of products and may differ in culture and style, but their business model are just the same. So, magkalalahi ra sila sa culture and style kung ano nila pag-prepare sa ila mga product and the processes. Pero same ragap sila ng business model. So, A, high volume sales. A bakery requires a high sales volume when it offers sweets and beverages. Sales volume refers to the number of products you're selling over a given period. It means an establishment has effective marketing and sales tactics. B, specialty goods. So, one way to draw an entity's customers is to provide specialty goods. It may be a special kind of cake or cookies, a house blend drink, or a brand of hot brewed coffee and tea. So, kapag mag-consider ko ng business, tana and imo products is you have special tea goods. So, zaon special kind of cake or cookies na unique compared to other products. So kinahanglan main uniqueness. So amo zaon ang specialty goods na if mukadton iba na customer sa iban, dili zaon nila makita na product dito or ang lasa kundi sa imo ra gazod bakery. So that is one example of specialty goods. So kuanan zaon kay zeban mag-add up ng mga other ingredients para or mag-experiment kay para maka-create ng unique na product na jaon da sa ila bakery or available sa so, nila specialty na pagbalik-balikan ng mga customer. C. Purchasing and forecasting. A bake shop must have a reliable supplier for both sweets and beverage ingredients. Owners and managers must have knowledge in anticipating demands and cost. So, kung magkuhan ka ng bake shop, kinanglan na you have a reliable supplier sa imo mga ingredients. Tapos, kinanglan ang owner tas ang manager kay zaoy knowledge, especially kung pila ang presyo ng zaon or kung mahal ra ba zaon didon. So, zon imo kuhan buyer ay sa imo supplier ba sa. Tapos, make sure na ang imo sad mga tagpalitan mo na mga ingredients is tarong and then fresh. D. Cultural variation. Bake shops cafe as an establishment as its hallmark known as culture. A specific activity that is helpful to boost sales is featuring a local artist of the week, sponsoring art exhibits or book clubs, local events, or charity fundraisers. Pricing baked products. It is a process of determining your unit cost and selling price. A. How much does it cost to make your baked goods? Figure out how to price your baked goods by studying the following. 1. The cost of ingredients. Determine the price or cost to buy the eggs, flour, sugar, vanilla, butter, and etc. So here are the prices of the ingredients. Confectionery sugar, 55 pounds. All-purpose flour, 55 per kilo. Baking powder, 45 per 250 gram. Iodine salt, 15 per 250 gram. Cocoa powder, Bensdorp, 140 per kilo. Sugar, 65 per kilo. 3 eggs large, 8 pieces. Canola oil, 95 per 1 liter. White rose vanilla, 15 per 60 ml. Number 2, recipe yield. So, determine the number of items produced in one batch. So, kung pila imo nahinang sa isa ka lutuan. So, recipe yield. Kung pila ran imo nahinang. Recipe chocolate crinkles, 55 grams per piece. 450 gram of confectionery sugar, 55. 360 gram of all-purpose flour, 19.80. 45 grams of baking powder, 8.10. 10 grams of salt, 0.60. 140 grams of cocoa powder, 20.30. 3 eggs large, 24. 190 grams of canola oil, 18.5. 10 ml of vanilla, 2.50. The total cost is 148.45. A. Cost per serving. So, calculate the ingredients cost by the recipe yield. So, the first cost per batch of chocolate crinkles for 55 gram each is 148.45. Ang cost per batch. So, chocolate crinkles. The recipe yields 17 pieces. Therefore, 148.45 divided by 17 Wait. So, therefore, 148.45 divided by 17 is equal to, dilin ko minus guys, equal to 8.73 per piece. So, amo ni ang presyo kibali niya sa imo first batch. 3. Time it takes to make each batch. Determine the factor in your hourly rate and divide it by the recipe yield to get the labor cost per item. So observe the following factor. A. Determine how long did it take to make chocolate crinkles. So imo i-determine kung bagan o na oras ani mo paghinang na chocolate crinkles. B. Assess how much of your time is worth. So imo ikuang kung pila ka ang oras. It is the same when you are working for someone doing this kind of work. So imo i-assess kung pila ka oras, for example nagtrabaho ka tapos kung pila ka oras ani mo murag suhol zaon. So same ra kuno sa kapag magtrabaho ka sa lain. So imsad ko consider. C. Know how much you expect to get paid. Be sure to start a realistic hourly rate. So you need to consider this. Always consider the amount of time for you to bake and finish chocolate crinkles. So mag-set ka gud ng time. Kung ka mahuman, paghinaw. Okay, preparation for the mise en place and mixing the dough for 15 minutes. B. Chilling, rolling, dredging, lining the baking pan, and baking the the cookies 30 minutes. C. Cooling, decorating 60 minutes, and the packaging is 15 minutes. So you need to put the allotted time in preparing. So, kinahanglan makaber ka kung una oras yaon. Note, if your direct labor is 2 hours per batch, you have valued your time at 68.125 per hour. Wage per day is 548 divided by 8. Therefore, your direct labor is 68.125 per batch. So, amo kibali ini mo direct labor per batch. Hourly rate is 68.125 divided by 1717. Number 4, add overhead costs to the markup for pricing bakery goods. The two types of cost involved are fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed costs are based on time rather than the quantity produced or sold by your business. Some examples are rent, businesses rates, utilities, equipment, management, insurance, cleaning and sundries, maintenance, marketing, accounting, licensing, and legal fees, venue, renovation and storefront, equipment, raw ingredients, marketing and media, rules and regulation, licensing, food hygiene and safety, training and qualities, website maintenance. Overhead cost, FB page free, so 0, market fees, 0, light and electricity 66 per month, gas 20 per month, printing cost 3.50 per month, water and utilities 13.30 per month. Total cost overhead is 102.80 per month. Therefore, incurred overhead is 102.80 and baked product sold 100 items per month. The fixed cost is 102.80 divided by 100 or 1.0 per unit. So next we have the variable cost tend to increase when your production increase. Some good credit card, raw materials, piece rate, labor, productions, delivery cost and fees, production and packaging supplies, paper, shipping cost for ordering supplies, a cellophane wrap, cellophane bag, a ribbon, a tag, like cupcake, liners, parchment. Each recipe includes everything consumable associated with the product. So we have the variable cost, packaging and plastics, 1.20 per 100 pieces, ribbons, 0.36 divide 3 per 3 rolls, so 1.56 per month. In chocolate crinkle recipe, you must include cellophane wrap, rolls or ribbon and boxes. The package cost per chocolate crinkle is 1.56. 5. Find the sum by putting it all together to calculate the cost of goods sold or COGS. So the formula: ingredients cost per serving plus direct labor per serving plus fixed cost plus variable cost. So tanda sila tag-add. Cost of goods sold or COGS equals ingredient cost per serving 8.73 per piece plus direct labor per serving 4.1 plus fixed cost 1.0I2, variable cost 1.56 with a total cost of 15.32 piece. So ang total cost niya is 16. Chocolate crinkles per piece is sold for 16 pesos. This is known as cost of goods sold or COGS. So if you will sell the chocolate crinkles by 20 to 16 to 4 and 4 divided by 16 minus 25 or 25%, the 25% will now become your gross profit margin. So the gross profit margin is 100 times sales price or COGS divided by sales. So you need to know your profit margin. A, maintain the items that are most profitable. B, decide which item you should promote. So to create more profitable menu items, adjust your price to maintain ideal margins. E, decide about your less profitable items. Pricing the cake with icing and packaging example was taken from an Ibisak, Pangkabuhayan Package Edition by Chow Chow Pinglak, sample costing form with calculation. So this is the name of recipe Yummy Yema cake, yield 1 to 1 inch. This is the picture. Cream cheese 225 gram. Ang unit cost is 120 per 22 kilo. Ang total cost is 120. Butter melted 1/4 cup. So 70 per 125 gram, 70. Fresh milk is 1/4 cup, so almost 86. So ang total cost is 16.13. All-purpose flour 125 grams, so 49. Ang 1 kilo, so 6.13. So ang magkano is a 125 grams ra. Cornstarch kay 3 tablespoon 80 kilo per kilo. The total cost is 3.60. Thus, amoy niyan isa ang total cost for 39.78. The procedure of making Yummy Yema cake. First, preheat oven to 325 Fahrenheit degrees. In a large bowl, beat the cream cheese until smooth and add the melted butter and milk. Beat until well combined. In a separate bowl, combine sifted flour, cornstarch, and salt. In the fourth, combine cream cheese mixture and flour mixture. Continue mixing until all ingredients are incorporated. Add egg yolks and lemon juice, and then you need to set aside. Beef, sit in separate bowl. Mix the egg whites and cream of tartar. Beat until soft peak form, then add vanilla and gradually add sugar until steep peak starts to form. 6. Fold in the egg whites to the cream cheese mixture until well combined. 7. Pour the butter into prepared pans. Bake for 30 to 35 minutes or until toothpick inserted into the middle come out clean. So, may ba nimo imluto na kapag gusto ko nimo ang kuhanan toothpick, tas kunya na yung pikit na taon. So for the Yema sauce, pour condensed milk in a medium saucepan. Mix together the water and cornstarch and pour into the saucepan with condensed milk. 2. Add egg yolks and cook in low-medium heat. Once it starts to boil, add vanilla. Keep stirring and cook until texture becomes thick and spreadable. About 35 minutes, turn off the heat and add butter. Let it cool. To assemble, put one layer cake on a cake board. Spread Yema sauce for filling and put the top layer cake. Spread the remaining Yema sauce on top and sides of the cake. Decorate your cake with some shredded cheese. Step in determining the cake price guide. Formula: total cake price equals labor plus ingredients plus miscellaneous cost plus utility cost times 30% to 60% profit. So this is the total cost ingredients, 439.78. So determine the price until the cost of each ingredient you use per batch. Labor 50 times 6 hours, 300. Your hourly rate is based on your salary per day. So nakadepende imo hourly rate sa imo salary kada adlaw. Miscellaneous 50. This include cake boards, boxes, ribbons, dowels. So miscellaneous ang manita gamit nila extra na mga materials sa pagkuhan ang package. Utility 100. Utility bills, gas, water, electricity per month. Total cost, find the daily in the or ideality in the cost. Total 859.79 times 30% profit. Amazon 889.78 plus 269.93 equals 1,156.71. The formula 300 plus 439.78 plus 50 plus 100 times 30% equals 266.93. So, Amazon ang result. The profit is the money that you can invest in your business. Yes, Amazon ang profit. Amazon ang kwarta na imo tag-invest sa imo business. Therefore, the total price of Yummy Yema cake is 1,156.71 ang whole cake or in pesos is 1,157. Selling price total divided by yields 1,157 divided by 12 yields minus 96.42 or 97. Packaging. Disposable packaging options are available in the market to suit your products and keep them protected and safe until they're ready to eat. So some examples are Kilion, All About Baking, Wonder Bake, Old Spice are in boxes, Moose Grill at Chocolate Depot. Some products available ingredients and packaging. So boxes or carton board containers, cake boxes, and carriers, disposable food box. So there are different kinds of packaging. So dyan box or cartoon boards, tas cake boxes, and carriers, disposable food bags. So dyan is full-line thermal bags, baguette bags, cups and lids, or tin cans. Go eco-friendly. So bake products that are packed in eco-friendly packaging attract an eco-conscious crowd with an interest in high-quality organic food. So kapag eco-friendly sila, it's much better kay makahelp sila sa environment. And then mas ma-attract ang mga eco-conscious crowd. So especially mga customers na kuan mo gamit ng mga eco-friendly na mga packaging, and also mas dabo mo kan kay ang mostly if eco-friendly in packaging, and then an imo sa product is organic. So amo sa dabo sad mamalit. So especially sa mga mga eco-conscious crowd or eco-conscious buyers. Branding, branded detailing is also an ad on the attract customers. Give your baked product a cohesive and memorable brand identity. A logo can be printed to disposables, paper bags, boxes, and even coffee cups by simply using a stamp and ink pad. Yes, branding is grabe sad ka important kay kung dyan mo branding, mas dali makilayan ang mo product, and it's much easier to endorse or to promote, and then dali rasad ma-attract ang customer kay kung puta na pa sa branding ganing na, so makapalit ka ang mga kuwan ang mga customer. Tas may sad imo brand identity kay kung may mutan sa may brand ba ng imo kuwanan, may brand nan dyan na for example like product, and then isa sa makaganing sa maka-attract sa mga customer is ang logo. Next, marketing and promotion. Marketing promotion is a means of communicating to the prospective customer by the seller by persuading his client to buy his or products, while promotion is making awareness of specific products or services, creating interest and sales in order to increase brand loyalty. So, importante sa marketing and promotion kay para dabo mas makakilay sa imong product, and then ma-aware sad ang mga customers kung hamon uno lang mga ingredients, tas kung magkaroon sad sila na interest sa imo mga products. Social media, image-centric platform like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Design a website by posting photographs and see example of your product before customer will place an order. Get listed on TripAdvisor, Grab, Foodpanda, and other review sites. So social media. So example of this kay kuwan sa mga Grab, Foodpanda. So diba isa zaon sila ang mga mag-deliver na imong mga products, especially kapag imo sila mag-post ka ng pictures sa Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, tapos ibutang nimo dito kung ano ra ang mga products na available, tapos butang sa timong photographs or example sa imong product para before mag-order ani mo customer is makita na nila. So Amazon. Tas para may sad ila ma-view na site kung ano ra available na kwan sa imdas nakan maka-order sa ang mga customers na through online. So that's how social media help a business. Basic costing using food cost percentage. Basic costing of a recipe is one way of determining the unit cost per piece and how much is cost for consumer consumption, known as the selling price with the inclusion of packaging and value-added tax, 12% per serving. So the markup form, unit cost, 35% standard food cost percentage equals plus dumpling cost or wrap around cost plus VAT. So A, basic costing, you may utilize the data in the measurement and equivalent. So cake rule, 12 slices. And yields. 71 and 1/4 cup sifted cake flour, 50 per kilo, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 29 per 200 gram, 4 eggs separated, 7 pieces, 1/4 cup sugar, 60 per kilo, 60 per kilo, so 1/2 cup milk, 69 per liter, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 12 per 60 ml, 2 teaspoon melted butter, 78 per 225. So this is the costing form. So name of recipe, cake roll. So and is the number of serving is 12 slices. So 300 gram cake flour. Unit price is 50. Per unit purchase is 1,000. Unit to measure gram. Unit price 50. Quantity is 5 ml. Baking powder 2950 gram, 0.58. And then 4 pieces eggs, 7 per unit is 1 piece 28, 120 gram sugar, a unit price is 60, ang per unit gram is 1,000 gram, 7.20. So dyan naman ang unit price, ang total is 63.87 divided by 12 pieces equals 5.32 or 6 piece. So using the markup formula, selling price, UC divide 35%, 6.35, 17 equals 17.14 equals 17.14 plus 10. How many ang warp around cost divide dumpling cost? So 27.14 times 12% VAT equals 27.14 times 0.12. VAT equals 3.26 equals 27.14 plus 3.26 equals 30.40. So ang many selling price. I'm using the markup formula. So ang ito na formula. This is the selling price. Thank you for listening.